Welcome to the show where 3 generations of family go head to head on a variety of topics. You got 1 Gen X, Kaya, 1 Millennial, Noe, and 1 Gen Z, Chris. No matter what the topic, you can bet it's going to be up for debate.
Black professors, right, such as Dr. Umar, who represent a group of people that are underrepresented for us, right? Because most of us, our ceiling is a rapper or an athlete. Seldom do we see the success of a Black astrophysicist, a Black professor, a Black psychologist, things of that nature. So when you have these people publicly tear down other Black people, that's a problem that we need to acknowledge. And that happens way more often than we'd like to admit. Right? So when things
now
like that
I
happen,
definitely agree with you on.
That's what I'm talking. So when it comes to stuff like that, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to problems that we need to address, because nobody tears down Black people like Black people.
That is absolutely factual. I think we were talking about the other day that Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, Boyce Watkins, they all don't get along with each other. Roland Martin, they don't get along with one another. And they publicly tear. I don't know if Roland has torn them down, but they publicly tear each other down on social media. And you are like Tariq Nasheed, he's literally done the Hidden Colors movies and has put so much information for Black people. And there's some valuable information in there for Black people to study and to learn. But yet you're on social media tearing down the same person that you had in a few of your movies, your documentaries. So it's just like you out here looking like the people that you're advocating against.
Right.
And every time I see them post something that is tearing down, you know, now Boyce Watkins, he just put up something about George Floyd. I was just like, nigga. But, you know, Umar's always talking about getting with snow bunnies or snow puppies. And Tariq is always tearing down somebody or making fun of saying he had butter biscuits, or them butter biscuits must taste real good. You know, when a Black person does something that is considered cooning.
But I think too, like, their definitions of stuff just, it's mad weird. Like, I just feel like sometimes, now I like Roland Martin personally.
So do I.
I like them all. I like Dr. Umar. I just feel like sometimes I'm like, yo, the person that gets the voice, I feel like sometimes needs to be a little more level-headed and not as extreme. You can't look at somebody and be like, yo, he's dating this white woman.
A snow bunny.
He don't care about Black people. He could never be for Black people because he's dating a white woman. And it's like, yeah, but I've dated 1 white woman and 10 Black women. So now I don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? I give money to Black people and Black foundations. I fund stuff, you know, myself. I do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I try to help or whatever. I'm a successful Black man, whatever. But because my significant other's white, I can't possibly love Black people. I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's just some level of like extremism with some of that stuff at times. Now, if you are a nigga who's just running around with white people all the time, then I get that. Because it's just like, you clearly ain't trying to be down, like, but you ain't with us at all or whatever. At least if that's the appearance and what you give off, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like for everybody though, like dudes can't even film a movie and put Aztecs in it without there being a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is a problem.
Little Mermaid is a problem. Spider-Man is a problem.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like they got Spider-Man chasing after this white girl. Like, all right. It's like everything. To me, that's where it's just like, all right, bro.
All right, come on.
Like,
Yeah,
it's just, it's too much sometimes.
I'm speaking to those people in which everything is a problem except what's happening in our own communities. You know what I'm saying? You sitting up here debating about some movie that came out yesterday, dude.
That you didn't see.
There are deeper issues that are going on right across the street. If you want to be vocal about something,
you know, I think, in all honesty, and I'm going to say this, I think one of the issues that I had, and you know what, to each his own, love who you love, but when Kanye, shout out to Jamie Foxx, Get Better Soon, did the song Gold Digger, and he was just like, and when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. And then he got on, he dated Amber Rose, he had the black chick when he first got on, but he married a white girl.
Amber Rose is black?
Yeah.
Might
be Hispanic.
And then he married another white girl. But you was the same one talking about when it all falls down. Couldn't afford a car, but you named the daughter Alexis.
That nigga had shoulder pads in his sweater.
That's what I'm saying. Our demographic of people to look up to is confined to celebrities and athletes. We don't have a black electrician to say, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Because when we had Malcolm X, when we had Martin Luther King, when we had Medgar Evers, they were all murdered.
I'm not even talking about people to speak up against injustices and stuff. I'm just talking about representation in different fields other than...
We have Ben Crump, and Tariq Nasheed tears him down every chance he gets. Stephen Jackson tore him down and said he was an opportunist behind the whole George Floyd thing. And it wasn't until, and I've always, been, he was tearing down Tamika Mallory and my son. And it wasn't until I seen his Netflix special that I was just like, yo, this is the truth. Have you seen his Netflix special? His documentary? This dude, number one, he has taken everybody to task. He took Ron DeSantis to task. He's taken the federal government to task. He's doing it. He's about the business. The whole wrongful death by police, that's a part of his practice, but he doesn't really make money from that. But people call him. And then when you call him, and then you have the family in front of people to give their statements, you have people like us that are tearing him down.
I think that also comes from the
slavery.
So yeah, I was gonna say, like hood behavior and stuff like that, because people are so used to being taken advantage of, or the crabs in the barrel mentality. It was just like, oh yeah, this nigga go trying to get on and whatever. Like, so I think it's just the constant trying to undo what's been done in the past. So I think people just feel a certain way.
That's kind of my biggest thing, is the constant trying to undo what's been done in the past. And that's where I'm getting at in terms of futility, right? As opposed to trying to undo those things, why don't we now invest more into things like pushing our Black youth into careers that add more value into our communities? Trade work, for example. I'm not saying you have to make a career in it, but I feel like every Black man,
as we talk, not tore him down, but as we spoke about him in not so beautiful way, but Umar does advocate for people to have trade, for Black folks to have trade.
That's overshadowed by all the nonsense that he spews. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, he comes out all the time and says, he comes out all the time and says that we have to teach our youth to go into fields that a robot or AI cannot do. Find trades, and because everything that a robot could do or AI can do is going to be obsolete for the human being in a few years. So he's like, teach your children trades, and teach them to go into trade school and find careers that can be done only with human hands.
See, but that's great.
I think that's gonna be hard, man, because not the trade thing. I just think for Black people, trades was our thing.
Yeah. And then everybody got caught up into, no, you got to go to higher learning. and you got to go to college, and you got to get your degree, and you got to get your degree, and you got to get your degree, and now people ain't got their degree, and now they like, you got to get your PhD, and then you can't even get a $40,000 job. Some people with a bachelor's.
As I said, the cycle. But with the trades, I mean, obviously, my brother trades, my father trade, but for the youth, that's going to be hard. I think that's something you have to, like, to some degree, maybe like force on them, because with social media and the way just the perception or the ill-advised perception of reality, it's like, niggas doing trades ain't getting no money. People doing this ain't getting no money, ain't getting that real money. I don't want to work. I want it. It's easy. It's what social media has now corrupted that. So I feel like it's a good thing to tell kids to do that, but I think it's going to be harder in the future. Like, I'm definitely sure when you were in high school, but I know when I was in high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, they used to take you to the trade joint, like the Boyce's joint and the trades joint and all this other stuff, like, to learn that. Like, that was just a part of the curriculum, but ain't nobody doing that now.
Yeah, we used to have shop. It was called shop.
I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly, because I was that guy. I hated it. It wasn't until recently that I actually found value in what it was, right? But
it was hammering stuff in his room was just like, word.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's a different feeling. And as a man, just inherently, by nature, we thrive off of having value, right? So if we walk into a room where we have no value, over time, that causes depression, right? If you don't hold value in your community, that will affect you mentally and psychologically. So we can, as 15, 16, 17-year-olds or whatever, think that all this influencer, social media crap is beneficial. But when it comes time to settle down, have a family, have your own stuff, own things, and you don't know a lick of anything, that's going to hurt.
But also, one thing that is so necessary that I think that as a globe we're losing altogether is the human interaction and how to actually have conversations with one another, and not like this, but actually talk to somebody on the phone or in person and have dialogue and be like, well, what do you think about this? Oh, what do you think about that? Oh, well, I thought so and so and so. Instead of being on your phone. How many kids you see when we at a family function, they get together and they all find a device?
That's not their fault, though.
I know. But we have to be able to train our children to actually know how to speak, how to have dialogue, how to even write a check. Even though checks are becoming obsolete, there's some people right now that are adults that don't know how to fill out a check. And that's sad.
So the date goes here and I sign the back.
So what right here? Pay to the order of, well, who's the order?
I like a number 2, please.
Like, knowing how to write a check.
It's like, it says 4 at the bottom. Did I just put me? Okay.
When I used to work in a bank, I used to see people come up and be like, so it says endorse here. What does that mean?
I'm getting a sponsorship?
Like, endorsements? I get an endorsement by Chase? No, that means you sign your name. And don't have to endorse it to somebody else, and then you have to sign under. What? You can do that? Sign the check over to someone. Well, how do I do that? These are small things that people don't know how to do.
Niggas can't even screw in light bulbs. I mean,
Facts.
Like, you would be surprised. Like,
it's sad. It's sad. And to the point that we were talking about, Americans as a whole, we just ass backwards with what we do.
We're just dumb.
Ron DeSantis said in Florida, get these gaboons. He said, get out of here. He passed that law, that migrant law in Florida, and all the migrants migrated someplace else. And it wasn't until Americans had to do the job that the migrants were doing that they realized, my back hurt.
Mowing your own lawn sucks, doesn't it?
My wrist is hurting. I'm getting carpal tunnel picking these fruit, picking these oranges off the tree. The owners of the company said, yeah, some of them wanted to leave after lunch. Some of them quit after 2 weeks. Americans are just not made for this labor. But yet, reparations are not due to us when we did it for free for 400 years. And people gonna be like, why you always say when we did it? You wasn't here 4,400 years ago. You absolutely right. But I bet you my grandpappy was here. My great-grandmama was here. My grandmother was born in 19... Her mother was alive when slavery was here. Yeah, she was.
Your grandmother born in 19...
My grandmother, yes, she was.
Damn, I come from some old
So that
people.
means
Because my grandfather was born in like
Great-grandmother.
19 or something.
so
What
she
you
had
say?
to be born in the late 1890s or 1880s? Question mark?
Who?
Am I tripping?
My great grandmother?
No, 1820.
In the 1800s.
1800s, right? I'm not
No, but
tripping.
she was born, I think, 18. I have it on my family tree.
I mean,
She was
yeah.
born in
it's-
1860 or
Yeah, it's
something like
not far
that.
off,
So
'cause,
right
like, my
before.
mom- My mom talks about her grandparents all that, like on a regular basis. And I be thinking about that joint like,
How was the Great Depression? That's what
I be sitting there
like. What
like,
was that like? What was that like? If you lived through that, you could live
Goodness.
through anything.
But I mean, if you just think about that though, like my parents, like if my dad's talking about his grandparents or my mom's talking about their grandparents, they're referring to people that were born in the 1800s.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
crazy.
Exactly.
Like you lived through nuclear warfare. Like that
Yes.
is crazy.
Yes.
to me.
Exactly.
That is crazy to me. If you could live through that, that's why they're just different types of people. Like they just have
They are different types of people. And then if you look
different-
into their parents, they were alive during the Civil War.
Yeah. You had muskets and stuff. Yeah, it's a different time. Yeah.
So you think about it, these people endured some things that we will never understand, but yet they be like, I'm not my ancestors. I'll whoop your. Don't
I hate
take
when people
away
say stuff like that.
from what
I hate
they
when people
did,
say like that, bro.
because if they didn't do what they did, your ass would not be here.
You would be defecating yourself every day if you had to think about a possible nuclear warhead hitting this side of the country, bro.
Or if you were alive,
That happened like 3 different times.
If you were alive during the Jim Crow eras and the Black Codes.
That too, yeah. I was just thinking global.
So you trying to say you about that life when it's Black Codes and you living in a certain area and they don't like your kind? Or you in a what is it? A
Sundown
sunset
state?
town?
Sundown.
A
state, I
sundown?
think.
Is it sundown? Sundown town? Sundown town?
Sundown town.
Sundown town?
I think it's sundown states. I think that's what it is.
Well, it wasn't just, it was more so towns that had those laws.
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah, okay.
the whole
Yeah,
state.
yeah. Oh, so it might be sundown towns. You might be right. It just sounds pretty.
Sundown town.
Yeah.
But
Read that.
don't try to
Oh,
act as if you was about that life.
Yeah, I hate when people
What
say
you
ain't
gonna
no-
do?
You ain't no real nigga. Come to Candyland, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, these people, they had to know, and there were people that had to actually go and drive these highways and through these cities to show you what towns to go into.
Oh, the Green Book.
Is that what it's about? I didn't see it.
I think the Green Book was during that time almost like a local Black encyclopedia where it told you all the spots that
Oh,
were
yeah,
safe
yeah,
for
yeah.
Black people.
But yeah,
I believe so. I think the Green
you
Book.
had, you basically had a guide on what areas and cities and states you can go in as a colored person.
Yeah.
So you try and tell me that you would be
You niggas lost.
Can I get a piece of pie? What Martin said in life, he was like, can I have 2 coffees and
a couple
slice
slices of pie?
A couple slices of pie.
Let's talk turkey. How much is it gonna take to turn one of them white only pies and the nigga pies?
And then
but see, the difference is during those times, adversity brought about community.
yes.
It does not do the same as how it used to now.
That's because it was by design. It was all by design. We were together.
That's what I'm saying.
Unit because we had to be.
That's what I'm saying. We have to be now.
Well,
yeah, but there's too much conditioning and too much time has passed for it to just happen.
That's
like
my
that.
point. This is my point. Exactly.
What you mean exactly? That's partially our fault.
Our fault.
Yeah, y'all took over this social media thing and whatever, and y'all.
We didn't create social media. The people that created it are profiting off of us.
Yeah, and y'all have taken this thing and kind of like gone a little left with it.
We didn't create the thing.
No, we didn't. Okay, y'all didn't create it, but who are the ones that are on social media body shaming and having all these negative comments to say in people's comments? Like, ain't nobody condition you to say something nasty or something derogatory towards your brother or your sister because you don't like what she has on or you don't like how she looks. Unless he is basically Daniel Cameron from Kentucky, the Kentucky AG that did not put the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor in jail. Why would you be speaking negatively?
I think you guys underestimate the power of manipulating human psychology. And I think you guys underestimate just how intelligent the people that create these things are, right?
Well, maybe I just know that I'm more intelligent because I don't succumb to that.
No,
I don't succumb to it.
Yeah, you do. Everybody does.
When do you see me commenting on people's page and being nasty?
Hold on. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be nasty. I'm not equating social media with nastiness. I'm equating social media with addictive behaviors. Difference. Social media brings out the absolute worst in people.
And to be totally, completely honest
and it's
with
designed that way.
If we were not in this particular forum and had to push this forum, I would not be on social media.
Right, but you're an anomaly. The proportion of people that feel that way are completely disproportionate to the people that don't.
Because I'm like, I got better stuff to do.
I think that makes 2 out of 3.
Yeah, it's only because of the fact that we're trying to push something up this movement.
Okay, when I say these things, I'm not talking about us, obviously. But as far as the 7 billion people that reside on the planet, most of them are addicted to their phones and or social media and cannot live without.
No, that's facts. I think too with social media. I mean, I wasn't being 100% serious when I was blaming your generation, but I mean, it's just facts that the way, to some degree, the way the social elements of the world go is it trends to wherever young people are going to take it because that's the future. And the part of it that I was serious about is, the young people who use social media now don't really do a great job of using it, and they use it effectively to, I would say, make money maybe, but at some point I don't want to say like your common sense, but your mentality, your emotions, whatever it might be, your feelings, all those other things are going to have to play a role because that's the stuff that ends up getting messed up in the grand scheme of things. So it's kind of like, I look at it to some degree, looking in the future, like what are young people now going to share with their kids? You know what I'm saying? Like thinking about what my parents shared with me, what their parents shared with them, what was passed down. So trying to look ahead, it's just like, yo, what are y'all gonna actually share with your kids in regards to hard work and labor or the Black culture struggles, this and that? Like, what is it gonna be? How is the narrative gonna shift going forward?
That's where I get pessimistic when it comes to us, at least my generation. That's where I get pessimistic. I think we're doomed.
Because we live in like the cloud culture now, in the rainbow cloud culture. And I don't even mean that in the LGBT whatever way, but I just mean that in the sense of like, it's like the participation era. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets a trophy. There's no, differentiation between anything. So everything goes, everybody wins, everybody's this. Oh, it's not Black, it's not this. Well, you guys don't struggle with anything because you're living through us. I see people on social media do these things. There's rich Black people on social media all the time. I didn't say all of us was broke. I'm saying it's just like, but there's a real struggle that you're not going to see on social media because it's not a real place. But for some reason, people feel that it's real.
Yeah. Now we're getting in the metaverse, like, bruh, AI. Come on, my generation is doomed.
I think your brother's generation is doomed.
Oh yeah, a lot of us having kids. You know what I'm saying? We ain't exactly.
Is that Gen Z too? Winky's Gen Z?
No, he's Generation Alpha, and that is under 13 years of age. So what are the takeaways with this?
Well, I think for your generation, I think the hardest thing that I personally deal with your generation is, and I think the bottom half of the millennials, like the ones that are closer to your generation, are like this a lot too, is there's just this like, I'll do anything for $1 kind of attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no sense of like morality anymore. There's no sense of like, dignity. There's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, whatever I gotta do for $1, I'll do it. I'll drink bleach. I'll suck toes. I'll send feet pics.
Was it Migos or Offset that had the song "Do Anything for Clout"?
Offset, him and Cardi. There was actually this clip or this podcast where this dude was asking questions. He was like, all right, so for $1 million, and before the other dude even finished, he was just like, I'll suck it. Huh? Just like, hey, yo. He said that to with a straight face. I'm just like, what is happening right now? Everybody in the room was like, yo, like, what is good with you? You didn't even finish the question yet. But
it's like for $1 million.
I wasn't expecting that.
This is where to your point, this is where we are in society right now in my generation. This is where we're at.
But that comes from social media. It's the need to, everybody on social media. It's like, yo, why are you so pressed about this person? Yo, they be on jets. This nigga vacations once a year, maybe twice. All right. The beginning and end of the year. He does the post the same time every year. He's on vacation. Like, why are you trying to do whatever you trying to, like, yo, we gotta, and then
you see how even Bow Wow, he got caught. He was just like, yeah, on this private jizzy. And somebody was just like, this nigga want to play with me.
Even the way people dress, I'm just like, yo, there's no way that you think that looks good. You're wearing that solely because you think this is what like rich people wear, or you think that like you didn't buy that because you like it. And to me, that's one of the problems. It's like you will do anything for a clout, even if you don't like it, even if you know it's wrong, you'll do it because it's attention, it's a heart, it's a like, it's some kind of odd reward or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like,
attention is currency.
That joint don't pay bills though.
It sure don't.
It does not. The thing is,
that joint is different.
People like Kim Kardashian that get bread to post. It makes the average person, not to say that Kim is better than anybody else, but it makes the non-celebrity think that.
But she's like, no disrespect to her, but she's part of the problem.
Yeah.
I partially blame her.
Yeah.
And I always used to say they was the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Like,
I say that all the time.
You blow up like that off of a tape that you put out on purpose and you sold and all like
That your mother endorsed.
That your mother
like that
signed
sets
off
the
on.
tone. And like you did that and you didn't get like a show on like, BET at 1 o'clock or in the morning or some backhanded, on the rise platform. You got prime time E.
And that show ran until
for like 20 something
run
seasons.
no more.
I think
and
that
now
joint is
y'all
on
are
Hulu.
on Hulu.
Yeah.
Like, so people look at it like, yo, if that's the reward, you know what I'm saying, from getting
Sign me
bust
up.
down on camera real quick.
Now
Why
every
not
chick
do
is
it?
making an OnlyFans. Like if they're making cooking videos or whatever, there's some skimpy outfit with their booty cheeks all out and the cameras on their butt while they
Yo.
chefing up curry. Like
That
just
I
show me
see,
the
yo,
curry.
I
Just
saw
show
a
me the
joint
curry.
on
I don't need to see the
Instagram,
cheeks.
and
Just show
I
me
don't
the
even
curry.
remember who it was. And I just remember I was so annoyed by it because, like, I watch mad like cooking stuff, just mad cooking stuff from YouTube, Instagram, whatever. And I guess in the algorithm, by the way, this chick rolls up and she's cooking. So I'm just like, all right, what is this? But when she was cooking, I was just like, yo, man, this is what we do. Like, this is how you're trying. I'm like, this has nothing to do with the food.
Exactly.
Now, the food came out fantastic, but it was just like, yo, this is how we're going to do this?
If you see a dude walking with big red shoes and colorful hair, but a regular outfit, right? 5 days straight. Your assumption is that he's a clown on his off time, right? You're not going to assume he work at corporate. It ain't objectifying women, but if you're wearing booty shorts and a two-piece every time we see you, what type of attention are you going to attract?
And that's okay. So with that being said, I guess this is just a question for women in general. And I think it is the last thing that you said. When women do that, what kind of attention do they expect to get?
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Because it's like you see that it goes back to the cooking thing, right? It's like, all right, so we making chicken and waffles and you putting that in there. And it's like, okay, why are you shaking like that? That's not really a part of the cooking.
That's not normal.
Like, that's not normal. Okay, now this is just getting out and I'm just swiping. Like, I don't even, but then
you like this?
Like, it was just like, and I'm just like, yo, bro, like it just, because it's like, it's not about it. For me, it's annoying because it's like, yo, you don't have to sell sex for everything. Sometimes you can just sell the skill of what you're doing.
It's just a shame.
Every chick that posts a video working out in the gym. Oh yeah, we out here lifting weights. Now, and this is the thing that I see all the time. And dudes might do it and I just don't see it. Niggas be in the gym lifting weights. They on the treadmill, they running, they on the thing, they're recording. All right, this is how you do it. Here, go, whatever. Every time I see a girl, she's in the gym. It's just like she's got on the shortest, tightest thing ever, the least amount of whatever. And it's just like, all right, hey, even though this is probably better filmed from in front of me, why don't you just shove that camera right up my butthole and, film from there? And it's just, at some point, it's like, are you going to do something different? Or I'm sure it's got to be selling for you. That's why you're doing it. But it's just like, where is the skill? Nigga, go pick up where's the trade skills at,
That's
man?
what I'm saying, bro.
Like, at this point, I'm like, yo, go pick up a basketball.
That's like watching porn and being like, she's got a great personality. Like, dude. Like, what are we really expecting?
You're a jerk.
That's what it is, though.
But it'd
be those same females that be like, oh, why are you talking about my titty? Like, bruh, your nipples are popping through your shirt. Literally. Like, what are we talking about? What are we really talking about?
Now, I will admit, like, since we spoke about Amber Rose and her with the slut walk and the whole slut shaming thing, I don't agree with calling yourself a slut.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far.
I also don't agree with you having to bend over, show the nipples and all of that stuff just for you to sell something. However, the industry And society has made that the norm versus the exception. Like
Yeah,
every record exec, every whatever has always made the woman be objectified. And most of the times it's because it's a male exec at the top saying, nah, you gotta do this. You look at what Diddy did with Nicki Minaj.
You say Diddy?
Yeah, Diddy was he managed her when she first came out, and he told her to get all the booby to be the Black Barbie. That's why she got that body.
I don't think the music industry.
Wait, did he manage Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, when she first came out.
I'm pretty sure the story goes Lil Wayne found her on the steps.
Remember, Big Zeb.
I'm almost positive that's
Deb.
Who?
Waka
Flocka's mom, Deb.
Oh yeah.
She managed her first, and then Diddy took over from her, and then after that situation didn't work out, that's when she got with Young Money.
Yo, shout out to Deb. She's a real one. Because I definitely saw an interview with her when she was just like, these chicks out here is just doing whatever. Shout out to Deb. You're a one.
But just for all these women out here, bro, I don't think the music industry is a great example of what we're talking about. But Pretty still wins. Classy Pretty still wins. But again, the music industry definitely is not a good example of the objectification of women, because we already know how that get down. But outside of that, Pretty still wins. We talking about Felicia Rashad, Yara Shahidi, Zendaya. Like, Classy, beautiful still wins. We ain't like, don't be fooled. Sure, we'll look at a nice butt or whatever, but Pretty still wins.
To me, I just find it to be weird. And I don't know if it's a culture thing, a generational thing, a societal thing, a social media. I don't know what it is. But, and I think we've talked about this in the past, it's just very weird to me that the definition of empowerment between men and women are very different.
Vastly different.
Like, men view empowerment like, or if you say something like man empowerment, it's just like, yo, I'm working, I'm moving up the ladder, I'm growing, I'm getting money, I'm bossing up and this and that. And that's just where it ends. You know what I'm saying? I might go buy some watches and a chain and, you know what I'm saying? Get some fly suits or whatever. But, and I've seen this with rich people, famous people, and then like people that I know who have success and are getting better and growing and doing their thing and whatever. And this is about women, this portion of it. I see the same thing, the same exact pattern. Like, I'm chilling. And then it's just like, I'm finding myself in my womanhood and my empowerment, and it's this. And then that leads to butt nakedness on social media. And I feel like I see that all the time, from the top to the mid tier to the bottom. And I'm just like, yo, what is going on? Like, why is it that empowerment for women comes with, like, it's almost like empowerment is
for
the body.
Some women.
Yeah, for some women. It's just like empowerment means I can walk around butt ass naked and it's just like I'm empowered. Like, this is the empowering portion of it. Like, I look good and I'm sexy and I'm this. Like, why is empowerment sex? I can do what I want. I can this and then, but then it's like, if somebody approaches you in a certain way, like, oh, so what up, baby? What you trying to? It's just like, hey, it's like, I mean, like Dave Chappelle said it best, right? If I'm wearing a cop suit and somebody runs up to me and it's just like, oh my God, officer, I need your help. It's just like, oh, I'm not really a cop. I'm just dressed this way. But then the chick who's dressed all crazy on the internet is just like, well, I ain't a hoe, but I do have on a hoe's uniform. And then it's just like, you understand what I'm saying? And it's just like,
if I'm to speculate, I would think that what you're talking about in terms of empowerment and walking around butt naked, I think that's almost akin, if I'm to play devil's advocate here, I think that's almost akin to like nigger, right? In terms of taking the power back from the word, and when people use it or whatever, I think women may do that or may not do that to take power from or power back.
Back.
You know what I'm saying?
Women have been objectified for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Women have been the reason for empires to fall. Women have been the reason
death of Macbeth.
for marriages to end, you know. However, for whatever reason, a woman is held to a higher standard when it comes to how she maintains herself and how she maintains her body. And I think when a woman says that they're, in my opinion, if a woman, because I don't dress, or like that, but when a woman says that they're empowered, all they're saying is that I have agency over myself. Because in so many instances, women are used as basically, that nigga Nelly swiped the credit card in the butt cheeks, and the woman allowed him to.
That idea was also that of a woman.
Well, you said she allowed him to.
No, but it was her idea. She told him to do it.
Oh, so there you have it. That ain't Nelly's problem. The fact of the matter is, if she invited it, like he did it, I don't think that's a dig against him.
I understand what you're saying. Like, it means like she has agency over herself. I think this is not in its entirety. We're just based on this little small issues. I don't want everybody to feel like I'm trying to blame everything on this. I'm just referring to this little piece. But I feel like it also goes hand in hand with the way society works from a relationship perspective between men and women. So it's almost like when you do that, like how Chris said, it's like Black people taking back the N-word and stuff like that and all this, whatever. But for a woman, when they, I guess, present themselves in that way, like there's a value system, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go outside and you see a Lamborghini, it's like, oh snap, it has mad value to you because you don't really ever see it. But if you saw one on every block, it would be like, oh, it's whatever, it's another one. It's done. And I feel like that's what is happening to some degree. And that's why like these dudes are just like, I mean, and there's dirtbags out there anyway, but I feel like it plays a part in dudes sometimes just being like, I have no interest in what it is y'all are doing, because what are you doing for me that you're not doing for everybody else? Or what are you presenting to me? Like every nigga done seen this already. So there's no value in it for me.
That's a good point.
And if you notice, like,
and yet some people don't care because Kanye sure didn't.
Yeah, but it's Kanye.
Yeah, like that wasn't a good.
Like, but I mean, if you think about the dudes who like, I don't say like the dudes who cheat because it's a horrible example, but it's just like the dudes who used to be in the streets who are no longer in the streets. A lot of the times, the woman they married doesn't look like the people they were in the streets with, which tells me that you had
Derek Jacks.
Yeah, which tells me it's like, yo, you had value in you saw value in a certain kind of woman that presented herself a certain way, because this wasn't that. This isn't like, street booty here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this woman doesn't look like the women you see that you were running around with. Like, and sometimes I just look at it like myself, like, I couldn't marry this person because it's just like, I get nothing. There is nothing left for me. But I think what brought it home for me one time, I saw this picture of Kim Kardashian. It was on Instagram, and she's standing in the mirror and she's butt naked. And she's got the centers across the chest, one down low. And somebody left a comment that said, if you want to show me a part of Kim I've never seen, stick the camera up her vagina. And for some reason, that comment just made me go like, damn. So it's like, this person has never even met you. And they feel like they know your body that well. So the person who you marry, how do they find like true value in that when you've given it away to everybody else for nothing?
Listen, You can snap on, snap, clap, stomp your feet, light a match, whatever you want to do. I don't necessarily agree with women that get up there and basically show it all. But guess what? Kim has learned how to monetize off what you see. So it wasn't for free. Because now, isn't she a billionaire? Most of her family members are in the high millions. So clearly, Ray J had literally catapulted the entire Jenner Kardashian family into mega millions.
Which is all good and fine for her. But think about what that influence does for all the younger women that look up to her.
No.
I look at it like, what did you give up to? Like, you gave up more than what money can buy.
That's a great question, or rather a great point. What did you give up for that? That is a great point.
Like, for me, I like, even when people do like the hypothetical stuff, like Chris was talking about earlier, when he was like the dude in $1 million and all this other stuff, like,
and I suck it.
Yeah, and it's just like, yo, nah, son, like, there's like, and people be like, no, you would do it, anybody would do that. And I'd be like, nah, bro, like, there's just no, like, there's just things that's just like, nah, son, like, I just can't get down like that. It doesn't even have to be that. It's just there's a way, I believe, and everybody doesn't have to believe that this is just me. Like, I just feel like there's a way to go about doing things. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the right way, but a way, like, I always feel like if I have to sell myself out in order to do something, then it's probably not the right way for me to do it. And by selling out, and I'm not talking like how black people and white people be talking about, oh, you sold out by going here and doing. I'm talking about literally like if I'm questioning my spiritually, whatever. If I'm questioning myself, like if I made a sex tape and I'm like, yo, release that, like I'm gonna question myself, like, should I have done that? And that's going to tell me, it doesn't matter how much money I got from it. It's just like, but what I gave up for that, money can't buy back.
Well, she doing every attempt to get, she becoming a lawyer. She doing everything she can to get her respectability back. She went to meet with the president when Trump was in office.
But think about it. Does she, if you really think about women who are respected, genuinely, truly respected, that are on, you know, her level financially or just status wise,
no,
you would say she's at the bottom of that.
Yeah, nobody looks at her and just been like, well, I mean, people say that she's a shrewd businesswoman and that she, you know, she is so nice, and she can be nice. But to me, her and her family have literally started a culture of fake and then calling it your own. Because nobody was on that whole getting plastic surgery and vein and taking the camera and everything was a selfie and everything was pictures and getting the right angle and all. Nobody was really doing that until she came on the scene. Her and her family.
Because the other one of the sisters was talking about, I think I saw a clip where she was just like, I wish I never would have even touched. I think it what's
Chloe?
Courtney? Kylie. Kylie. She was talking about her daughter. I think she has a daughter and a son and a daughter or two daughters, whatever it is. And she was just like, I'm not letting my kids anywhere near that stuff. She's like, I wish I never would have touched plastic surgery or whatever. Because if I'm not mistaken, she got plastic surgery when she was like 16 or 17. Like, that's crazy. You haven't even developed.
Because before she got plastic surgery, she was the most basic, you know, Cody looking chick with hair. No curves, no nothing. And the thing about it is, your kids are going to look like the real you. Not the made up you. Not the plastic you. Huh?
Walking around that Chinese guy.
Yes. The kids are going to look like the real you and not your plastic surgery version.
Yes.
So, and I'm glad she said it, because she used to try to make it seem like her lips was real. Talk about, no, it's just the way I line them. Sucker, you don't want them, got them lips implanted.
Cats
or
made a
shot
show
up.
called Revenge Body, bro. Like, you can't get the surgery and then start working out and then be like,
Yeah, all you got to do is work hard and you know, do squats and lift weights and that's how you get this body. No, and you also pay a doctor. So stop stop faking the funk and stop trying to piss on us and make us think it's rain.
you know what? I'm going to take a moment to shout out K Michelle. Because she came out and she was honest and she was just like, yo, I ain't working out. I don't want to work out. I want to look good. So I'm going to go to a doctor and before I do a sit-up, I'm going to the doctor to get that joint fixed. I appreciate your honesty. Kudos to you. But we see how that worked out, because didn't she go and get all those implants and stuff or whatever she got done removed?
That's because whoever did her butt injections, they weren't licensed.
What?
And it started to seep into her blood and into her body.
Like, if I go to have surgery, I feel like I'm going to know who my doctor is. Like, I'm going to be doing some extensive research. Like, this person's about to be like cutting me up or injecting me with stuff.
She got the butt implants. I mean, the butt fillers first.
So question, is that Hollywood, or is that, I mean, it has to be some kind of influence, because I tell you right now, I'm not going to a hotel room for a surgical operation or a procedure or anything of the sort.
That's because everybody wants a big butt. Before, big butts was like, ooh, Sarah Bartman. They had her in the circus for her big butt. But now Kim Kardashian made the big butts. I don't understand how a white woman can now be the poster girl for big butts when we had it since freedom. I ain't have to pay nobody for mine. But ain't nobody trying to look at mine. You know what I'm saying? But Kim is out here talking about, oh no, all you gotta do, this is my butt, this is not plastic surgery. Yeah, heifer, they took fat from your stomach or wherever and put it in your butt. So that's how it's yours. But you ain't have it when you was on the street hanging out with Paris Hilton. That was not your body back then. Niggas act like we can't do before and after pics. Well, we don't know what the next topic is going to be. It's going to be up for debate. Until next time.